Yo, what is going on YouTube? Team TB11 here, and today I am going to be bringing to you guys our YCS Vancouver meta ranking. It is currently day 1 of YCS Vancouver at the time of recording this, so we're going to see if our predictions can hopefully predict the future. Hopefully, because I really want to see Yummy win, please. All right, so starting here, we got best deck, just the best deck. Top tier, just the decks that are close to best, but not quite there yet. Not bad. It's not like the best, but it's not the worst. It's middle range of the meta decks. Playable is one of the meta decks that aren't really aren't great, but aren't bad. They aren't awesome, but they can play. No is just no. This deck is honestly maybe barely holding on to meta, maybe even rogue at this point. So let's get right into it, starting with Blue Eyes. Now, Blue Eyes. I had a match against it today at Locals, and I don't know if it's because the deck just isn't built to be consistent. Like, I feel like that deck should be pretty consistent, but like, I 2-0'd with hardly any issue, I'm gonna be honest. It was hardly any issue. It just wasn't a problem. I played through everything even after misplaying in game 1. So I think that this deck honestly isn't even at not bad anymore. I think this deck is just playable. I think this deck isn't the best, but it can cook. Now, next up, we got Draco Tail Branded. I have a high respect for this deck because I've seen what it can do. So, it hasn't had any success. Then again, nothing has, I guess. So I can't really be fair about that. Yeah, I'd like to say it's top tier, but part of me thinks it might be not bad. But here's the thing about it. It's mixing two engines that theoretically can play well together, but of course they do have some points where they can sort of collide a bit. I feel like it's more of a branded deck and just uses Draco Tail to replace all that excess engine that they lost on ban lists and that sort of thing. I don't think this is a bad deck at all. I would say it's probably bottom of top tier, just because I think this deck has so much potential. It just needed a little bit more of a push, which unfortunately in the second wave of support we aren't getting the push we need because the new support's really not that good. But I mean, I like the deck. I think you can really do a lot. Next up, we got Pure Draco Tail. Easily the worst version of Draco Tail. I think this deck is just not bad. It's not better than the rest, but it's definitely not bad. It struggles to play over an imperm because if you imperm their Altharion, they struggle a lot. Like I'm not even saying that because I hate pure Draco Tail. It's just not awesome. But it is better than Blue Eyes, honestly. Next up, we got no, that's not branded. Ryziel Heraldic Beasts. This deck has had very little success when it comes to bigger events, but when it comes to OTSs, I feel like it's just like top 4 on all of them. Like I've been to a few, and top 4 has always had a heraldic beast Ryziel. It's just everywhere. My buddy loves this deck. I don't know why, but I think it can cook. I mean, clearly if it's topping OTSs, it can be pretty decent. So I'd say it's not bad. Like I'd say it's like bottom of not bad, I'd say. Just because Ryziel's kind of been falling off and it loses to D barrier. You know what I mean? Like, I've even seen it cook yummy. Plus, it can play things like Featherstorm, which is broken, a Floodgate. Next, we got K9 Draco Tail. The deck originally, I was going to play this format, but decided against it and decided to play the better deck. Yummy. Play yummy. Just play yummy. Simple. Draco Tail K9 is really cool. Honestly, if I still had my K9 core, or not K9, my Draco Tail core, I'd play it, but I sold it, so what are you gonna do? But other than that, I don't see me playing it for long, so I think I'm just gonna have to say, I'm trying to debate here. Is it better than branded? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I completely agree it's top tier, but I don't think it's better than the branded version. I think the branded version is the best. mainly because the canine version loses to more. For example, this deck loses its crazy advantage to Yummy, and then it just becomes like average because like on one side Draco Tail cooks against it, but on the other hand, Canine does shit against Yummy. So that's where it becomes iffy. Next, we got one of my favorite decks this format, which I wanted to play, but unfortunately, these Crystron cards are fucking impossible to get. So we got Crystron Canine. This deck is actually sick, dude. It is such a cool deck. I think it's definitely a top tier deck. I don't think it's better than either of these decks, honestly. My reason being is because, true, they do semi work well, sorry. I don't think it's better than the branded version. I'd say it's maybe a tad bit better than the Draco Tail version. My reason being because I feel like one, the ceiling is higher because for Draco Tail, Imperm, Altheria, for this deck can continue to play even after a point of a heavy interruption. Which of course this deck can too if it opens the right cards. Hell, it can still set cards, but like if they have an Ash, then yeah, you're not playing. But it's not bad. Definitely not a bad deck at all. Quite high up there. But I'd say it's just a tad bit better because it's ceiling. And surprisingly, branded Draco Tail is a pretty high ceiling. Lunalite, one of my only loss today. Literally, this deck is summon tower GG. If they don't get your tower, most likely you're winning. If they do, you're losing. Just scoop. There you go. I explained it in detail. I would say this deck is pretty good right now. Under a good pilot, that's the thing about it. You need a good pilot. So if this deck is piloted by the right person, I would say this deck is quite good. So I'm gonna say it's like at the top of not bad, but it's not quite top tier. Next we got Malice, one of my personal favorite decks. So Malice is in a very awkward position right now is the thing. So Malice, I'm gonna say, is definitely in the not bad category because I don't think he can keep up with this new stuff. Like I played against it at locals the other week, and it just did not feel the same. Cooked it 2-0. It just didn't feel the same as it used to. So I'm gonna say it's not bad, but I would definitely say it's better than these two decks. Mainly, well, trying to debate if it's better than pure Draco. Yeah, I would definitely say it's better than pure Draco Tail actually. Next we got Memento. So originally, I thought this format Memento was gonna be really bad, and then my friend's friend ended up playing a deck called Memento Canine that quite interested me. It looked fun. I'll just say that it looked really fun and really good. And then of course Henko Chow got third at Montreal Regional with this deck, which is pretty crazy. He also threw Fiendsmith in there, which is cool. Personally, I'm going to cut that because I am going to build this deck. Or scratch it, I already have it built, which I'll probably be doing a video on soon. But I love this deck. Like, I've always loved the artwork. I've always loved the look. It just looks awesome. So I'm pretty excited for this to be played. I might play it at future regionals too. But I think this deck is pretty damn good. I mean, it's already topping. So I'd say it's like probably just a little worse than Dracotail Canine. Well, yet to be seen. Well, yeah, I would say that because it needs a really good pilot. Next, we got Mermail. This category right here is meant for more Mermail. This deck sucks. All right, it's ass. This deck's ass, bro. Don't play this shit. All right. No, this deck's not meta anymore. It's not relevant in the format. I bet it could probably top a YCS at best if it had a good pilot. But other than that, no. It's just not the goo anymore. It's not. It had the hardest fall off in the format, if you ask me. No other words needed. Mitsuru Iso Fiendsmith. I always hated this variant, to be honest. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, I could get behind, like, one or the other, but playing both engines just feels so forced. But this deck, I admit is pretty freaking good. Is it better than Mitsu Raziel? Fuck no. Because Mitsu Raziel can play more non-engine and has better ceiling if you ask me. And Fiendsmith card's just all extra. You don't need it. So no. But it is still top tier. And Mitsu still cooks this format, so I'm gonna throw this bitch right up here because this deck is still fucking crazy. This deck it's cracked. It does everything that this deck does and more. It's just harder to get that all out. Pyramid 2. Um, I'm gonna say it's definitely better than Blue Eyes, 100%. Um, but it's not better, or it's better than these two as well. Well, yeah, I would say it's better than Draco Tail. Yeah, I'd say it's just a tad bit better than pure Draco Tail. Pyramid 2 is still a really good deck if you're playing like a little more on the budget side. Plus, it can play things like, what's it called? Impulse, this format, which is a really good card. And only Malice in it can play it. So, Luna Light can too, can't it? Yeah. Wow, everyone thought there wouldn't be a deck this format that can play it, but look at that, we got 3. Oh, 4, right, Mermail. Yeah. So we got 4 decks this format that can. But Mermail sucks, so it's okay. Next we got Mitsu Raziel, the second best deck. I'm just gonna say that now. It's right up here. Deserves its spot. Ceiling, cracked. Interruptions, cracked. I took it to a YCS championship, or not a YCS championship, a YCS VIP qualifier, and got third with it. And it was my first time ever playing the deck. I don't need to explain otherwise. Give me a week with that, and I was getting that VIP invite. My only loss was to Malice because I made a small misplay game 3. Watch me, bro. Watch if I had learned that deck, bro. Just watch. Odeon. No. Even worse. Literally was good for like a week before people knew what it did. Deck's shit. No one knew what it did, so like what was the point? Um Automat Raziel. This deck is still pretty weak by itself, if you ask me, just because, well, one, it loses to a lot, like, a lot. So, like, if you get D-barriered, which is starting to pop up more now because they're like, this deck's kind of heavy played with D. It should be heavily played with D-barrier because, think about it, Fusion, Xyz, and Synchro decks are the main decks. And if you shut them down, they're not really playing. So, and even like Ritual is still a thing. The only deck that it does nothing to is Malice, and doesn't we don't really give a shit because we're gonna be Malice either way. Um, and it also loses to Droll hard, which all of these Mitsu Raziel decks do, and just Raziel in general hates Droll. Um, which every deck should be siding Droll right now. I haven't seen a single deck that's not because obviously Droll you have to respect Mitsu, you're losing the game pretty much. Because once this hits the board, it's just over. Like, that's just pretty much it. Like, it's over, or you have to banish it right away. It can't come back. It can't do this whole setup thing. If they get the setup, you've lost. No one trying to break the board, it's over. And it's just that, but worse. So I'm gonna have to say it is playable. Definitely better than Blue Eyes, but it's playable. Um, Sky Striker. Everyone overhypes the hell out of this deck. I'm gonna be so honest. Like this new support, it's alright, but I've played against it. I've seen what it can do. It's just not that good, bro. It's not as good as like people hype it up to be. So I'm gonna say it has to be playable. It's better than these, but it's playable. This deck isn't the goo, man. It's all right. It's all right if you got the right pilot. Like my buddy, he's played this deck since it came out. Still does. He still does good with it because he knows what the hell he's doing and he knows everything about it. Even a deck that simple, if you know everything about it, like how he does, then yeah, sure, I'll bump it up to top of not bad. But like with how it is now, nah, bro, nah. Cannon Vanquish Soul, third best deck. This deck bricks a lot. Like a lot, brother. So aside from that as well, it gets beat by a lot of things. And also, if you don't have, what's it called? If you don't have any canine cards and you're just playing pure Vanquish Soul, which by itself is not bad now that they have Holy Sue, but it's not that good, to be honest. Like, compared to, like, things up here, it's not as crazy. And, like, don't get me wrong, I love Vanquish Soul by itself, but with Canine, I just don't like it. Um, and it's just not as good as the things up here. Like, sure, I could definitely put it at the top of here. I'd say actually maybe it's a little better than Memento right now, just because the whole pilot thing. But I think it's definitely not a bad deck by any means. It's great, so good. But it bricks. If you're playing against Yummy, chances are you're not playing K9. So it just makes it awkward. So next we got White Forest. This deck has not fallen off, but it hasn't been doing as well. I definitely can't really put it at just playable or bottom or not bad like I'd want to, because my friend will hunt me down because he loves this deck. Um, I'm just kidding. Either way, it should be. It's definitely better than these guys, honestly. If you know how to play it, this deck can really do a lot. I even seen some people play Dragon Tail with it. Don't do that. That is a rogue option. Don't do that. Because it sucks. Um, it's just. It's not as good as these things here. I maybe could get. I'd say it's on the same level of Memento if you have the. If you're decently experienced with it, maybe like 6 months on the deck. If you're like highly experienced, I'd say maybe Christron Canine level, but it's not anything past that if you ask me. Next, we got Yummy Board Breakers. This deck right now, if you're playing against one of the newer decks, it's not bad at all. But if you're playing against something modern day, something with Mitsu, Lunalight, or it's just not that good, man. It's not. Breakers suck against these because Yummy doesn't love when they hit down with the Mitsu stuff. So it's just not good right now, dude. Like, I literally have to put it probably right here. It's not good that good compared to all this stuff. Hell, it struggles against these two decks too. The only reason it's still able to be better than these decks is because it's Yummy. Hell, I might even say it's worse than Draco Tail K9 if you look at it the right way, because then you're not hand trapping them, and that's what really screws them, or screws yourself, because if you don't have hand traps against this deck, they're going to go off. But they also don't get their canine play, which is the advantage. But the disadvantage is that they're going to resolve all their Draco Tail stuff, which sucks. Because they confuse a lot during your turn, or um, and they can really just fuse whenever. Like, after you break their board, sure, they're going to fuse again. Doesn't matter. So, yeah. Now, the best deck. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. This deck is the goo. This deck is cracked. Name something bad about this deck other than the fact that it gets fucked by fucking, what's it called? D-Barrier. I'm waiting. Exactly, you can't. There's nothing wrong with Yummy. It's gross. It's gross. Deck's great. Great. It's just, it's too good. There's nothing bad about it aside from maybe it's like lack of ability to stop Dragon Tail, which sucks, but also just make Double Herald. Just saying, just make Double Herald, bro. Just make Double Herald. And don't get your Obedience School Dash. If you know how to play, your Obedience School is not going to get ashed because you'll bait everything out first. Or you'll just be better and they won't have ash. So that will be it for this deck list video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys later. Yummy best deck!